Hello and welcome to the agenda. I am Ajay Kaul. In this program, we will analyze the significance of US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin's meeting with Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and some comments he made there. US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin today described India as an increasingly important partner in the rapidly shifting international dynamics. He also described India as a central pillar in America's approach regarding this region. He made these significant remarks after his talks with Defense Minister Rajnath Singh here today. During the meeting, they discussed how to elevate the defense relations bilaterally and multilaterally. So, what is the import of the meeting and the comments? We will analyze these in the agenda today. We have with us former Deputy Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh and retired diplomat Ambassador Achal Kumar Malhotra. But before we start our conversation, have a look at this report.
On his first visit to India, U.S. Secretary of State Lloyd Austin today discussed with his counterpart Rajnath Singh the opportunities to elevate the bilateral major defense partnership status and enhance cooperation through multilateral fora. During the talks, Indo-Pacific region was a major focus against the backdrop of increasing belligerence of China. Austin said India is an increasingly important partner in the rapidly shifting international dynamics. He said that in view of the challenges to a free and open regional order, cooperation among like-minded countries is imperative to securing a shared vision for the future. Austin said the US-India relationship is a stronghold of a free and open Indo-Pacific region and that India is a central pillar of America's approach to the region. The US is committed to enhance relations with India through regional security cooperation, military-to-military interactions, and defense trade, he said. The US Defense Secretary said the two countries are continuing to advance new areas of collaboration, including information sharing, logistics cooperation, artificial intelligence, and cooperation in new domains such as space and cyber. He said the two leaders also discussed engagement with like-minded partners through multilateral groupings such as the Quad and ASEAN. Austin arrived here last evening and soon after met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and NSA Ajit Doval. The visit of the US Secretary of Defense has immense importance, particularly since India is the first country of his foreign travel since he took over in January. It is a new beginning whose outcome can be assessed in the coming years. Better report.
Now, let's welcome our guests, Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh and Ambassador Achal Malhotra. Welcome to the program, both of you, sir. So, let me start by asking Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh about the meeting today, Defense Ministers meeting, US Defense Secretary. So, what appealed to me or what struck me was his comment saying that India is an increasingly important partner in the rapidly changing international dynamics. I think I thought that is the most important point. Maybe you can enlighten me whether I am right or wrong.
Absolutely. I would say that what he's conveyed is the centrality of relationship based on India. And secondly, he's conveying the fast evolving geostrategic environment in the world. In fact, it is also indicative of expanding US-India bilateral defense cooperation. And it is, I will say, it is just on the heels of the first quadrilateral summit that we had recently.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a signaling to China in particular. And it is also, I would say, it is growth of major defense partnership platform to strategic partnership. I would say through cementing of the foundational agreement that we had with the US. That's actually indicative that the US-India relationship, bilateral relationship, defense cooperation, and on the focus of Indo-Pacific region is definitely bound to grow. And as the Prime Minister had earlier said, that is good for the world.
Okay, I'll go to Ambassador Achal Malhotra. As
Yes,
we
sir.
Ambassador, as we analyze the comments made by Secretary Austin, so if we talk about his comment that rapidly changing international dynamics, how would you analyze it? What is he referring to?
Well, he's obviously referring to a situation where China is emerging as a very big challenge to the United States of America, be it in terms of military strength, be it in terms of economic power. It's also talking about the kind of not so good relations which the United States of America is having at the moment with Russia,
Right.
also indicating towards a kind of rapprochement between Russia and China. And in fact, also referring and pointing toward a certain alliance between democracies of the world, including America, India, Australia, Japan, and some other like-minded people who America would like to come together and be instrumental in ensuring a peaceful, prosperous, free, inclusive Indo-Pacific area. And this is where, when he says increasingly important partner, even from the Trump time, India is being looked at as the only country in Asia which has the credentials to be a reliable partner of the United States of America in countering and containing China's influence in this region.
Right.
And this is what, these two components of the observation, this is how I interpret a changing scenario where China and America at loggerheads, they are no more cooperating the way they were cooperating some years ago. India, China also having tensions, and China's behavior on the international arena is something which needs to be checked. So in this context, America is looking at India as one of the most reliable partners in Asia.
So, Ambassador Malhotra, if we talk about, we know that it's already a unipolar world right now. So, is the US maybe foreseeing a new pole coming up through China, or maybe grouping, with China maybe posing as a challenge as a grouping, or maybe through polarization? What do you say?
Well, true. There was after the demise of the Soviet Union. Yes, of course, the world that we had was a unipolar world, and of course, China is emerging as one of the most, one of the countries which is going to challenge the United States of America. In some years, maybe they have the size of economy being equal to each other, and they also have many other problems. But as far as India is concerned, we have always advocated a multipolar world, and we have emphasized on the multipolarity. And I think even Biden's administration at this point of time wants to take reverse Donald Trump's the inward-looking policies, and they are also looking at a world where there is a scope for multipolarity. But multipolarity, in a sense, where each pole would adhere to the rule of law and in the international order. It should not be trying to coerce the neighbors, or it should not be extensionist in its design. It should not be violative of the basic human rights and the accepted norms of international diplomacy.
Right.
This is where China becomes a villain. So there is that's how America is indicating that it would like to revive relations with its own partners and alliances, and together they would like to, so that it's possible to have a world where democracy prevails. There is a rule of law. International relations are based. And diplomacy is based on rule of law, and there is a peace and prosperity. And this is where they are all looking at us as like-minded people with shared values.
Yeah, I'll come back to you on multipolarity, but I want to go to General Gurmeet Singh about another comment, important comment made by Austin, Secretary Austin, is that India is a central pillar in America's approach towards the region. So, obviously, it is focused on the Indo-Pacific region and keeping China in mind. So, what do you think is in the mind of the USA when you think about central pillar?
Absolutely. I think US and in particular the Secretary of Defense is absolutely candid about it, that India is the central pillar in this aspirations regarding Indo-Pacific region. In fact, if you look at it, if you see historically, 2016, they had said that we are the major defense partner. 2016, we went in for logistic exchange memorandum of agreement, MOA. And 2016, we had also concluded the COMCASA, that's the communication compatibility and the security agreement. And thereafter, basic exchange BECA agreement which was there. And I would say the foundation has been done, and now being so candid about it, and to say that both are targeting free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. That actually shows that the maritime security and the number of, I think, the joint naval exercises we've done, especially the Malabar one, and in April we are going to have with the Quad plus France. So that actually shows that centrality is being anchored in this region on India. There is absolutely candid about. But Ajay, I would like to bring out one aspect of it.
Yeah.
Today, when the Secretary of Defense had visited the National War Memorial, he conveyed his condolences for the recent Air Force officer who had martyred in this air accident. And his prioritizing to go to National War Memorial and give his reverence to, the soldiers, I think that was very touching. And these are the things which will make the bond even more stronger. And in the conference, he categorically said, apart from the background that we got on the defense cooperation with the US, he said of info sharing, logistics, artificial intelligence, new domains of space and cyber. So it shows very particularly that which direction the entire thing is moving towards. In fact, also indicates that the defense technology and Make in India, those aspects are reflective of the growing defense cooperation and I would say the defense relationship between US and India. And obviously, it is based on Quad as one of the cornerstones, wherein Japan and Australia also have got a similar thought on free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region.
General Gurmeet Singh, you mentioned about India being a major defense partner, strategic partner. But at the same time, I mean, USA wants India to emerge as a power in Asia so that it can contain or counter China. But at the same time, when India is acquiring S-400 from Russia and USA is threatening India with sanctions. So on one side you are an ally and on the other side you are being threatened by sanctions. So what can...
Ajay, see, one of the anchors of relationship with the US is based on pluralism. In fact, I would say this really does not have so much of consequences. As far as S-400 is concerned, I think now the communication between US and India is on a very candid term. In fact, S-400 is the key need of India at this juncture. I'm definite about it.
India has explained it to USA repeatedly, several times. But even recently, America said that it will again fall under the CAATSA and you are risking the sanctions.
Ajay, these are the leverages, these are the pressures one has got to work out. And I'm very sure the revered diplomat who is there with you will be able to explain it better. But I got definite confidence about this thing, that with the diplomacy and anchorage and the threat of the China, which is all we combined together, then this cannot be seen in the same way as the US looks at Turkey from the S-400 point of view. I'm definite about it that
General Gurmeet, General Gurmeet, I may interrupt here because Turkey is a NATO ally. We are not a NATO ally, so NATO has a different status. We are a free country. We could go for S-400.
In the current dynamic, the belligerence of China, the need of the US to create a credible deterrence against them, the economic coercion, the way that we've seen the Cold War between US and China has been growing.
So now,
right in front of us, we've seen Alaska meeting, how it has gone absolutely for the spark right at the start.
Right.
So I think the scene is different and will be
So
viewed differently.
as we talked about multipolarity, right, sometime back, Ambassador Malhotra, I'll come to you. See, multipolarity is a maybe theme for over now decades, but it's not really happening. I mean, it has not been really happening. But at the same time, when we talk that India is moving closer to US, Russia, our traditional ally, is sulking and maybe drifting away from India, and maybe going towards China and Pakistan. So, how do you explain that?
Well, when you say multipolarity, yes, our preference is multipolar, and BRICS was constituted that in mind. Have at least one country in continents which will grow simultaneously. You may not get a perfect scenario when there is no superpower or no big power. The big powers will continue to stay there. The idea is that we don't want a situation when there is only one big power. Actually, there are only two big powers, and they dictate their terms to the rest of the world. And here a scenario is emerging where there are two big powers or three big powers, and they are like coordinating each other. And China is emerging as a very challenging kind of posing a lot of challenges. So, in the whole process, it should not happen that the interests of the emerging economies, emerging powers, emerging countries like India should suffer. So, we have multipolarity. Multipolarity remains also in the context of various global issues such as, climate change, for example. Here also, we don't want a situation that America just walks out. China they want to do it. We would like to have a multipolar approach, a multi kind of dimensional approach to the problem, which is of global nature. Similarly, there are issues related to terrorism, counter, and global dimensions. You have to have a lot of equal, a lot of countries which are able to exert, if not equal, at least substantial pressure. So able decisions come. And the rest of the world doesn't have to sit, wait, and be dictated by one or two powers in the world. That's how I look at it.
But Ambassador Malhotra, so is there a dilemma for India, like you mentioned about BRICS? So we are a part of BRICS, but at the same time we are fighting against China, and China is fighting against us, and so we are to ally with US. So I mean there is a kind of...
Yes, okay. This is very unfortunate. We are part of BRICS, we are part of also SCO, and some time ago there was also India, China, Russia trilateral.
RIC.
And we have, nobody can blame us as far as China is concerned. Because right from the beginning, we have been telling China that if the 21st century has to belong to Asia, then India and China must work together.
Right.
So we have extended our hand of friendship. In fact, we, for the last 20 years, we have allowed our relations to grow in such a manner that in certain aspects they have also hit our own interests because the balance of trade is not in our favor, and then China's penetration is deep, and so many other things. But I don't know. China has decided not to take this offer. Not only that, China has antagonized us by its behavior on the border, on the line of actual control.
Right.
You see how long we had this face-off, and frankly speaking, nobody has been able to pinpoint exactly what prompted China. Our external affairs minister has gone on record saying that we very often probably probe China. What prompted you to do? He said there's no adequate explanation for China for what they did on the line of actual control.
Right.
So I think if China has reacted to our getting closer to United States of America, and if we have been perceived as part of Quad, which is, according to China, a grouping which is against China, and therefore if China wanted not to be associated with us, I think this is a mistake of the century which China has done.
Right.
And hopefully they will realize it sooner than rather than later.
So kind of China is pushing us towards Quad or maybe strengthening Quad. General Gurmeet Singh, I'll come to you. So in fact, Secretary of Defense USA of America today also mentioned about Quad, that they discuss about Quad and how to take it further and maybe work with other like-minded countries. So, do you think Quad can be expanded or maybe should be expanded?
Definitely. I think Quad, though based on the four nations quadrilateral security dialogue, but it is likely to expand because now we see in April 4 to 7 we are going to have naval interactions between Quad plus France, and we had Canada earlier. So it will expand as per the convenience of, or as the world enjoins this principle. But if you look at it, America has just released interim national security strategy guidance, in which they very categorically talked about the increasing assertiveness of China. And they've also said that there's a requirement that the world has got to come against this challenge, emerging challenge from China on economic, diplomatic, military and technology front. So you will find that to address the Chinese belligerence, to create a credible deterrence against China, and also to face the economic coercion which has been coming from the China, these steps will come. And definitely, one thing is there, even the Prime Minister on 12th of March, he said, this platform is here to grow because the way the US and China and the way 2020 has seen the belligerence of China in all fronts. You leave aside East Ladakh, it has been on all fronts, whether it's East China Sea, South China Sea, Taiwan, economic coercion against Australia. So if you look at the entire perspective, it is likely that the Quad will get its own strength. As you can see, the priority.
So, as a military man, General Gurmeet Singh, as Ambassador Malhotra was saying, he was asking, why did China do that on the LAC? Why? We had very good relations all over, developing relations over the 2 decades. So, what prompted, what was the provocation for China? What is your understanding?
Ajay, answering why is one of the most difficult answer, Why it happened is because China decided it. It was in its priority.
No, the provocation. What could be the provocation as a military man?
Provocation was, I personally feel, that they thought that the COVID pandemic is on. There will be compulsions for the other countries, and probably they wanted to overcome the error which they had done as far as the COVID is concerned. Their internal stability was also questionable, and they were thinking that since they had done such a big blunder in the entire world, so they can take advantage of this scenario and put pressure on India at this moment, because India will also be under the pressure of pandemic. But unfortunately, I will say the reality worked out a different way. I think all the calculations have gone wrong. Their provocation, their expansionism was absolutely contested with a firm resolve by the Indian Armed Forces. And what happened on 15th June in Galwan was a big, I would say, a very assertive action by India, and which compelled them to come back. In fact, they realized that what they proved themselves in the end of the April 2020, they had to pull back on 10th of February of 2021. They had made a mistake. They miscalculated. They were calculating on the collusiveness with Pakistan in East Ladakh. They thought they will activate LAC and LOC. They were trying to even instigate Nepal to come out with tri-junction problem as far as the boundary issue is concerned. And they miscalculated in South China Sea and Taiwan also.
Right.
I would say that the belligerence and this action of China has been thwarted by the world. In particular, India showed the way how to do it.
Right. General Gurmeet Singh, we had to close. Maybe we have 2-3 minutes left. So I want to ask about Afghanistan, since we are talking about region. So America is about to withdraw from Afghanistan by May, and although President Biden says that it is tough to meet the deadline, but they are inclined to do it. So how much is it a concern for India? General Gurmeet Singh, I am asking you before I go to for the last comments from Ambassador Malhotra.
Sorry, Ajay, pardon me, I didn't get the question.
The question is about America is withdrawing from Afghanistan, maybe leaving the way for, paving the way for Taliban to get in. So how much is it concern for India?
It is definitely of concern. In fact, I would say that we want peace in Afghanistan, and it is a must from us because we have focused on the development out there. But at the moment, I think the U.S. administration is having a relook at the peace process which was started during the Trump's period. So it is likely to get delayed, but one would always wish, that there is a peace and development in Afghanistan.
Right. So, Ambassador Malhotra, I want to ask you about the same question. How much is it concern for India? Although India has been kept out of this multi-nation dialogue so far, but US is now getting India in. Although you saw Russia kept India out.
Yeah, surely. I agree with General Person that situation in Afghanistan is definitely a serious concern to us. And despite eligible for it, we have given an opportunity to be a part of, peace negotiations have gone on. Probably we were also reluctant not to deal with or talk to Taliban directly. And we have always therefore taken the line of, all these negotiations should be Afghan-led and Afghan-on. But now the scenario is emerging. Of course, America is advocating that we should be part of the peace process and all. But at the end of the day, it's going to depend how and what kind of arrangement the government, the newly elected government in Pakistan, and the politic rogues and the terrorist organization like Taliban are going to come to a minimum kind of understanding.
But the Afghan,
government can be formed.
Yeah, but the Afghan government says they cannot include Taliban without elections in the government.
Yes, that's right. The whole idea is sure. The agenda is Taliban going to come back to mainstream. There have been cases in the history. Even in Nepal, the communist, the Prachanda and others came back, came to the mainstream. In Mizoram, we have seen some insurgency has come back to the mainstream. But are Taliban going to behave like that? Will they have the same kind of liberal, are the decent agenda vis-a-vis women, are the social norms, etc.? So, long way to go. And if America withdraws from it, I'm telling you, at the end of the day, America is not going to completely. That was the approach Donald Trump had. But I don't think Biden administration would like to leave Afghanistan to itself. I mean, they may reduce their presence here, but somehow or the other they will remain associated. Now, what is happening is from India's expectation.
They want to America wants to remove the boots from the ground.
Yeah, that's right. And they expect India to remain engaged in the reconstruction to strengthen the institutions of democracy. They are building infrastructure, roads, dams.
Yeah. So
I must say, in the future of Afghanistan, that's very important from our point of view, but we can't gain cash. That's another reality.
Right. So we had to close this program, but we had to be watchful, and I think America-India relations are on the upswing. Thank you both of you for participating in this debate today.
Thank you.
This is all in the agenda today. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with another important topic on Monday. Till then, goodbye.